Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. My name is Amoy Daily and welcome back to my channel. Today I will just be giving some good book recommendations. I've been doing a lot of reading lately because, well, I've had lots of time to do lots of reading and I've read some really good books. I've picked three of them today that I'm going to recommend to, and I'll talk about them a little bit. Yeah, so if you want to read any of them, that would be good. That's why I'm recommending them. Yeah, so let's begin with the first recommendation. So the first book I'm going to recommend to you today is what I think is the best book I've ever read, to be honest. Like, it is amazing and I wish I could read it for the first time all over again. But it is this book right here, Women Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence Given. Can we just first of all admire how beautiful this front cover is? Like, it is amazing. This book is just, there is so much I could say about it, but just to kind of sum it up, Florence Given just really breaks down the kind of expectations placed upon women in society. She talks about setting boundaries and creating a more healthy relationship with yourself, and she has these amazing illustrations in the book. It is just there is so much I could say about this, honestly. But yeah, this book, it's so lovely, and at times it's uncomfortable because she really calls you out on stuff, but it's really necessary, and it really allows you to reflect on it. And this book, I wish it was written 5 years ago, and I wish I'd read it 5 years ago. It came out fairly recently. It came out around mid-June, towards the end of June, but I'd pre-ordered it and I was waiting for it, and I was not disappointed. I was over the moon. I will definitely be rereading this, and I've recommended it already to so many of my friends who've also read it, and they loved it as well. And yeah, I don't want to talk about it for too long, but I do really recommend this book. It is by Florence Given. She's 21 years old and she's London based. It's amazing. She's also done lots of talking on podcasts and on the news and stuff, so definitely look her up and check her out, and also check this book out because it is just really good. As I said, probably one of the best books I've ever read. So yeah, that is the first recommendation I have for you. Okay, so the second book I would like to recommend to you is Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Reni Eddo-Lodge. This book, again, also one of the best books I've ever read. I read it in about 2 days. It's just under 300 pages long, and her style of writing is so lovely, and especially in the current climate, if you're looking for some good anti-racism reading, this book is definitely a good place to start, especially if you're someone who lives in Britain, because this book primarily focuses on the climate around racism in Britain and the history of it and how it's perpetuated. There are about 6 or 7 chapters in this book. It is just, yeah, there's 7 chapters in this book and an extra chapter in the newer version. Yeah, it is, I cannot recommend this enough, to be honest. It is a good mixture of being informative and being narrative, and every single line from this book is quotable. And I'm gonna reread it again. I've recommended it to friends as well, and they've read it and loved it, and I'm sure you will love it too. I cannot recommend it more. Again, like I said, one of the best books I've ever read. I think it came out about 2 years ago. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't read it, and then I read it more recently, about a month or so ago, and I'm just sad I didn't read it earlier. But yeah, this is definitely a must read, definitely. So yeah, this is the second book that I recommend to you. It's by Reni Eddo-Lodge. She also has a podcast, so I also recommend listening to it as well. I've been listening to it and it's been amazing, so yeah, I really recommend that to you. And And the third book and final book I'll be recommending to you today is a fiction book, because I thought I should include at least one fiction book. But it is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This book, guys, so I bought it about like 3 or 4 years ago, and then the movie came out and I watched the movie, and then I didn't read I own the book and I didn't read it until about 2 months ago, because I was like, oh my gosh, remembered that I owned it, and I read it, and honestly, again, I should have read it earlier. I should have read it before I watched the movie, but I just like completely forgot. But guys, it is so good. Just to kind of summarize the plot, the main character, Star, basically witnesses her friend get killed by the police, and the book kind of goes through the journey of like her life after that, and like the court case surrounding it. And even though it's a fictional book, it very much fits in with like the real life current climate, and it's like really immersive. Like it's written in like the first person, so you can really get like involved with it. And as much as it's like a fiction book, there is nothing really about this that is like fictional, in the sense that this book is not detached from reality. It very much takes reality and just uses characters to basically explain what it's like it gives you like a more first-hand like experience into it. And yeah, like I really recommend it. It's written really well. And it was also the author's like first like proper published book, and honestly, you would not think that by reading it. Like, you would think she had been writing for ages beforehand, which she probably has, but this is like the first like proper book that she released. It is just so good. Again, it's by Angie Thomas. Pretty sure you can buy it like anywhere. Yeah, but I would really recommend that. Okay, so that's all the book recommendations I have for you today. Like I've said, I've read so many books recently, and I would love to recommend them all to you, but also I don't want this video to be too long. But I'm open to filming another recommendations video. Also, I do have a couple of book reviews lined up that I've filmed that I will be posting, so I can go into a bit more detail about the book specifically. Because obviously I couldn't really do that today, otherwise this video would end up being like really long. But I also think having standalone videos for just one book at a time would be really good. I can go into a lot more detail about that, but you know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you were looking for some good books to read, I do really highly recommend these. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. In the description below I will put like my social media in case you want to like follow me on there. Obviously there's no pressure to. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. Yeah, and I will see you in the next video.